All right, today I'm going to walk you through how to input an interconnection request in the group. So when you log in, you're going to get to this area and you're going to start a new generation. You'll select new generating facility and then make your choice of energy only, SCDS, or PCDS. Today we're going to do SCDS. Hit submit. All right, so you're going to enter your project name exactly as it appears in the Cluster 15 interconnection request sheet. If you do not, then it will not accept your project. Enter your facility location exactly as you would like it. And your latitude and longitude. It'll ask you to upload your site map. And you'll want to upload that. Make sure you name your files what you're uploading. So if I'm uploading a site map, I would name it site map. Next, you want to do your KMZ. And these uploads go pretty fast. You can try and upload more than one document at a time. If it gives you an error, just re-upload it. Go ahead and enter your project facility information. And if you are an increase in existing project, you'll go ahead and check this box. Next, you'll choose your point of interconnection, choose your PTO. Say we're going to do PG&E, and your substation. This list is a list of all ISO controlled substations and lines. So you can choose anything on here. If your station is not listed, you may check this box. You'll go ahead and enter your substation and the voltage. And then you will choose your deliverability option, merchant or deliverable. So for now, we're just going to choose something that's already here. If you choose a substation that's on the list, it will fill out this information for you. If you choose a line, you will still need to choose your deliverability option as the lines are not linked to study areas at the moment. All right. If your project is sharing a ditch high with other projects, you would select yes and enter the queue number and project name here. If it is not, select no. And if you're connected to an existing transmission line, go ahead and select yes. Enter the specific location on the line as well as the pole number. So next, you'll enter your scoring criteria. So you may need to check the tariff for the information that goes along with this, but the engineering design plan, you can score up to 50 points. And when you enter that value here, any value other than 0, you're going to have to upload your supporting documentation, which will be your engineering design plan form. And you can find that on our website. Expansion of an existing facility, if you did not check this box up here, then it will not allow you to choose that. And if you do, you will be required to fill out the additional options. So you would upload your supporting documentation, as well as which type of expansion are you. It will automatically fill in the points for you. If you qualify for these last two sections, you'll enter the value. It's an all or nothing. So the value for the ability to provide local resource adequacy is 50, and the maximum for long lead time resources is 100. So again, those areas will be either 0 or 50 and 0 or 100. Check the tariff for additional information there. Next, you're going to hit save and continue. For this first page, you must fill out every section or it will not let you save and continue. Every page after that, you will have the option to move forward with your application before filling in the information. Next, you're going to go ahead and put in your project contact information. For right now, if you are a consultant, you do want to put your information in the project manager contact, and then your whoever you're consulting for would go in the additional representative. That way you do get the notifications. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. You also have the option to save the contact to the address book. So if you check this box, it should save it for you. And you can say if it's personal or company contact. Personal should link it to your account. Company, you don't have the option to add a company yet, but when that happens later, you'll be able to add it to the company account. Go ahead and fill the rest of these in. And down here, you'll get to the digital signature. So you should enter the legal name of the interconnection customer. You'll find this box is similar to what you sign at the end of the interconnection request. It's all the same information here. So you want to go ahead and fill this out. And you want to upload your Secretary of State certification and your authorized signatory document. And finally, you'll get to the financial representative contact. This is going to be whoever is handling your finances. So whoever we can contact if we have a question about your deposit or refund. Next, you get to the financial form. So if you are a project that submitted a site control deposit and you no longer meet the regulatory limitations requirement, you can go ahead and upload your W-9 and vendor update form here, and we will check those when you request your refund or when the window closes. So speaking of site control, next you'll get to the site control section. All Cluster 15 projects are required to have site control or a regulatory limitation. So if you're providing site control with your application, it's 90% of the required acreage based on the BPM language. Go ahead and check yes. You'll select your type of site control. Say you have a lease agreement or an option or both. You may check as many as you have. And verify that site control is your documentation matches the LLC for the interconnection request. If it does not, just upload that org chart here and state, parent company or whatever it is. The term of agreement in years, if you have an option, you do want to add your option years plus your lease years, and we'll put that here, say 60 years. The nearest expiration date will be the first time that you need to renew your option or your lease. So if you have an option for a year and then you need to renew it to continue, then you'll want to put that first year as the nearest expiration date here. So we'll say, sure. And then the acreage required for your project site, this is based on the BPM language. So you want to check the BPM and multiply your particular project generation times your megawatts and figure out how many acres you need. Let's say 100 for this project. And then it's asking if you're sharing a site with another queue number. If you are, you want to enter that queue number here. And then enter the acreage required. Sorry, this one's the acreage required per the BPM. This one is the acreage acquired. So how much do you have based on your lease or whatever documentation you're providing? And then you'll upload your document of site control here. So if you have more than one file, you want to go ahead and zip that file. And that's true anywhere in the application. If you do have regulatory limitations, you would go ahead and check yes here. Currently, all 4 files are required, but since there was a change to our definition of regulatory limitations, these last 3 files are no longer required. You may just upload the same document you're putting here, or if you have 3 documents to upload, one for the affidavit, one for your explanation, and one for your additional documents, you just may upload all of those here. It will require you to put a document in each field. Okay, so next, we'll get to the application fee. So the application fee is going to the ISO, and that'll be a wire or a check. You want to upload your documentation from the bank stating that your wire was sent and received. That way we can match it up and verify your payment very quickly. Study deposit is going to the ISO as well, so same thing. And then the commercial readiness deposit is going to go to the PTO. These values are calculated automatically for you based on the megawatts you entered at the beginning. So you'll see the amount you need to spend when you start your application. So check your letter of credit, make sure it's the finalized letter of credit, and you can upload that document here. If you did select merchant option, a merchant zone, you will have an additional box for your merchant option deposit, and looks just like this. It will have the charge amount calculated for you, and you need to upload that here. If you did select regulatory limitation, again, I'll have another box for that required upload, and just go ahead and do that here. So next, you'll get to your facility data information. So this is a mix of the information on the Word document and the Excel sheet. I know just want to go ahead and fill it in. So make sure your in-service date is at least 2 years out from today, the close of the window. And then you want to make sure that your dates are in order. So and your proposed COD, make sure that's not more than 7 years out from today. Otherwise, your application will get rejected. Enter your term of service, 30 years, and then you move down to the fuel source selection. So this section is a little bit complicated to begin with, but if you wait to submit your application until after November, it'll look a little bit different. So for now, you want to select your fuel source or fuel sources. And let's say we are a solar, wind, and storage project. If you select other, you'll need to fill this out. Right now it is required, so if you do not need to fill it out, just type an NA there, and we're going to select solar, wind, battery. All right. So you will see that there's an add button here. So if you read this, you will need to press this add button for each fuel source that you selected. So the first one, we're going to do photovoltaic, and we'll say it's solar. Enter capacity of 500 megawatts. Is it co-located or hybrid? So we're going to say it's hybrid today. Go ahead and add our next one. It's going to be a battery. And the fuel source, again, the battery. So storage isn't listed on here. You can select other and type storage. I'll go ahead and do hybrid, and then we'll add one more for wind. And all right, and so that is all of our fuel sources. Make sure you add them all. Moving on. Okay, so it's asking about your battery. Is it charging from the grid, AC or DC? We're going to say we're charging from the grid, and we will follow ISO dispatch instructions. So, and they'll go ahead and fill out the information about your energy storage on this page. So I'm just going to put some numbers in. And if you miss a field, it will let you know, hey, this field can't be empty. I am going to skip one, so that way I can show you that you can move on as you're going through the application. All right, so there is a bug right now, and you may see this populate when you get to this page with an error. Go ahead and keep moving. It's not going to stop you, but once you fill out the information below, if it calculates correctly, the error will go away. The bug right now is not calculating correctly, so it may stay, but it should not stop you from submitting the application. So based on your generation type, you want to go ahead and fill this in. And if you got the PC with inverter, okay, and there you have. Okay. And then you'll see it goes ahead and it'll calculate up here this MVA for you. It will not change the total generating facility gross output. It's based on what you entered in facility information. So you can just keep going. Okay, and then you can also add a generator type. So your next one will be, something. Okay, and then you want to go ahead and add your transformers. So if you have more than one type of transformer, you're going to add more than one transformer type. But this is the number of that particular type of transformers. So go ahead and run that. Select your connection. And then if you want to add more windings, you can go ahead and do that too. And that's the drop down for you. Okay. And then you'll have to go ahead and fill in the impedance value. And then you can add another transformer you need. It will bring you back up, so you'll have to scroll down to see the next transformer. But no issues. So go ahead and put that in. I'm not going to add any more windings to this one. You get the idea. All right. And so if you have the transformer nameplate and manufacturer test report, you're going to upload that here. If not, you can go ahead and move on. You want to go ahead and upload your reactive capability curves. Okay. And then you want to go ahead and fill in these values here. Okay, I'm just going to ask you some yes or no questions. These are more for validation, but it's also just a double check for you. Did you meet the criteria? If you have a reactive device, you can add it here. If you do not, you can close the box. So you closed it on accident, you can go ahead and add it back. Reactive capability summary. If you have a power plant controller, go ahead and check this. It'll open up new fields for you. Again, everything that you answer will open up a new field that you'll go ahead and fill. I'm going to check here if there are different types of generators sharing reactive reserve. Okay. And then more questions about the all right. Moving on to the line and collector section. So everyone should have a line, so your gen-tie line. So you'll want to go ahead and fill this in for your line. And then it's going to ask you, is a new line planned by the IC and the line length is not negligible? So you want to answer yes to this. You can fill in the information about the line you're adding. Okay, it's going to populate the MBA for you. Okay, then if you also have a collector system, you can add that here. You want to add the next one, add a collector. If you added this in error, you can close that box and get rid of it. Then just double check your answers here. If you answer yes here, add the second collector there. Next, you're going to do your uploads for your local model and your custom megawatts at POI. All right, so you've got those files uploaded. Again, you're going to go through a bunch of manual checks, just, sanity check. Did you do everything you were supposed to do? Okay, we get to our dynamic model section. We go ahead and make these uploads here. And then again, we'll go ahead and do these sanity checks. Get to our one-line diagram. And more sanity checks. So if this happens, you can try and re-upload it. And we'll finish our sanity check here. Okay. And it'll take us to the next section. So new sections will open depending on the type of generation you choose and the different options. So you won't see everything in this tutorial, but you'll see a lot. So, okay, so moving on, in order to open up, when you get here, if you click this type 4, it opens up the inverter-based parameters section. And let's see, we were wind also, so we can add a second induction machine, and this will give you all the information for your wind turbine that you needed. We'll go back up to the first one. Okay, so if you're just selecting the type 4, you don't need to fill anything else out in this box. You just need to come down here to the inverter type. You must enter at least one. And then it's going to ask you, do you have a solar tracking system? No. Go ahead and add your inverter. Oh, you want to go ahead and fill all this in. Again, the answer yes. I'm going to ask some more questions. The data is needed, so if you think that you're supposed to fill something out and you don't see it here, you can reach out to the help desk, customer service. They'll get you to IR info or check the help information that's out here. Okay, so it's going to ask you to add your frequency tripping values here. And I think the Excel sheet asks you for 10. So go ahead and enter what you have. I'm only going to enter 2 today with the DC coupled facility. Go ahead and enter your information here. And I'm really just opening up as many boxes as I can to kind of show you what's available. So next, you're going to get to the short circuit performance table. This is the short circuit data table that's in the Excel sheet. Format is a little bit different, and so just pay attention when you're filling this out. It's going to talk about cycle time frames. 1, that's your 1 cycle time frame. Number 2 is going to be your 3 cycle time frame, and number 3 is going to be your 5 cycle time frame. Please enter these in 0.9, going all the way down to 0.1. And it's going to ask you to enter all this data. So there is a bug right now where it asks you for cycle time frame 1, 2, 3, and 4. We don't have a 4th cycle time frame. So for that section, you could go ahead and enter 0 to get past it. Okay, so after you enter that data, it comes to the end, and you'll enter all your additional requirements for these documents here. You're almost okay. And as I mentioned, if you have more than 1 file here, just upload it as a zip file. All right, I'm going to answer our last sanity check, and we'll go ahead and continue. Okay, so we got a notification. Something in our application didn't upload correctly. And that may happen on this section because there's so many documents here. So if you scroll down, we will find where we missed something. All right, so you can see here, this document didn't quite upload. So we'll just upload again. All right, we should be all set. Okay, so remember that field I left blank? Well, it's not going to let you submit your application. So we're going to go back to that activity, and it's going to say you have a required field that's empty. So we'll scroll down until we see the highlight. Oh, here we go. Enter a value here, and now you must hit save and continue. And after you do that, it's going to walk you back through any remaining sections of the application, and this is because of the validation process. So you will need to go back through each page and hit save and continue to get back to the application review. Okay, so now we are at the final application review, and it's going to give you all the details for your whole project. So everything you've input is going to be listed here. And you do have the option, you can print this page if you want to share the information with other people. And you just print it through your browser. Once you get to the bottom, you're going to go ahead and read this statement. and this is the same statement that's on the interconnection application now. You're going to check the box and hit submit. And when you log back into your project view, you will see that your application is in review. And you will get an email that says application in review. So I can go back in here, and since this is my view, I can see the completeness review. You will not have this option, but you will be able to see the emails. Thank you for submitting your application, the history of everyone that's been in your project, any documents you uploaded. You will have the ability to withdraw your application should you decide that you would no longer like to participate in Cluster 15. So thank you. If you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to the service desk or customer service.